Hey guys, Rylan Russell here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share with you a free resource that we've been using that you can use at your church to get digital sermon notes. So, like most churches, for many, many years we have printed a paper bulletin. It's morphed and changed and shrunk down over the years, and we were actually kind of happy with the way we had it. But then when COVID hit, we thought to ourselves, okay, we can't pass out bulletins anymore. Let's look around for a solution to have a digital bulletin. Mainly, digital sermon notes is what we were mostly concerned about. Having a way for people to actually tangibly, take notes and have something that can direct them through the scriptures. We had tried using YouVersion's notes area for probably 2 or 3 years, and we just realized nobody was going in, and it kind of had some roadblocks in it because you had to search for the church by area code, I think, or by the name, and people were having trouble finding ours, and so I was just ready to look for another solution. And that's when I stumbled upon this site by Faith Notes. It's interactivesermonnotes.com. The great thing about this site is, number one, it is completely free. And this is not a sponsored video or anything. I just want to share a resource that I found with you guys that you might not know about. We did end up paying the upgraded price of $9 a month, but with the free version, users can access notes for up to 1 month of an archive, and you can schedule the posting of your sermon notes ahead of time. They can fill in the notes and save them as a PDF. And you can upload a Word document. It will automatically convert like your underlined sentences and your scripture references to quick links. And users can add private notes. That's all in the free version. We did end up adding the $9 a month plan for a couple of different things. Once we got into it, we realized this can kind of take the place of our bulletin. And so I'll go through that with you in just a minute. But let me just show you what this looks like whenever you go to the notes on your phone. So there's a couple of different ways that our people access our sermon notes on a Sunday. The easiest way is probably for them just to go into our app and then go to the message notes section, and that will load that week's sermon notes. So this week we had May 23rd, the Dirty Dozen, Andrew the Angler. And as you can see, it's got quick links to scripture that pop up. If you click on it, you can fill in the blank, and then after you do all of this, you can actually generate a PDF and have that emailed to you, so you can save these if you want to, if you're really that into the sermons. You can also do this, view this note without blanks, and then it will actually show you all of the blanks already filled in if you want to look ahead, or maybe you missed what was said, that kind of thing, which is super handy. But the other thing that you can do on here is if you click interact on the paid version, I believe, we have these different things already preloaded in here. Things you would have in your bulletin, announcements, things like that. You could take additional sermon notes right here that would be saved, just extra stuff that you want to jot down. If you want to actually search in the Bible, it's all built in right there. And then we have our contact form and guest survey right there built into the notes section of our app. Okay, so it looks really good. It's slick. It's user-friendly. Our people never complain about it. How do they get to it easily, though? And so we have designed a couple of QR codes that are always displaying throughout our church. And so one of them is this digital bulletin, interactive sermon notes QR code. We have this scrolling on our announcements, and people just zoom into it with their camera, and that works great. And then on the first slide of our sermon, we also include that same QR code somewhere in the design area. And we always say at the beginning of the sermon, hey, if you want to grab the digital sermon notes, you can just point your phone at the screen and scan that QR code. And obviously some people still use hard copy Bibles. That's great. We give them the scripture references, all that fun stuff. But we're trying to make it as easy as possible for people to engage with the sermon. And so if the people are watching online, the description of our live feed always has a link to the current sermon notes. That way they can be directed to there. Now there is also, it looks like, some new functions here where you can add a live stream player to the top of your sermon notes area. So I'm going to test that a little bit more and see. That would be neat if people are watching on mobile, because then they could have the sermon notes open with the player just above it. And so check on that and see what you think. We aren't using it currently, but we've been happy with what we've been doing with it so far. Another benefit of this system is that the archive is there. And so we include the digital sermon notes on our website as well in our series engine player. And so you can use a link to your sermon notes, a unique link to each sermon. And what we do is on the details section, we include a link to the sermon notes for that Sunday. And so we have the podcast, we have the YouTube video that starts right at the sermon, and then we have a link to the sermon notes where they can get there and, have the notes and print them off or do whatever they want as they're listening back to that series. So I hope that helps you guys. Check it out if you're interested in kind of, adding digital sermon notes to your arsenal. Our people have really loved it. Let's see if I can just show you real quick. We're not a large church. We usually average about 350 in attendance on a Sunday morning. But if I go over here to our back end, you can see 430 unique users viewed that sermon notes. 16 PDFs were saved and emailed, And so our people really do continue to use it, and it's kind of growing. And so we're just going to continue utilizing it, and it looks like they're adding new functionality as we go. So hope that helps you guys. Like I said, not a sponsored video or anything. I mean, there is a paid option for it that we use, but the free version we use for quite a while, and it's super powerful. So, all right, remember, guys, we can do a lot of great things. Let's do it all for the right reasons. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm close to 800 right now, and I would greatly appreciate it if what you are, if this stuff that I'm providing is helpful to you. Go ahead and just subscribe, and I'm trying to make more content every week. All right, we'll see you in the next one.